everybody, it's Chris. Welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to be unboxing and I'm going to be giving you my review of the Texas Chainsaw Massacre from Second Sight. This is their box set deluxe edition. I finally got it after over a month of waiting. I finally got it. I ordered it in February, it came out in April, and I got it in May. You know, that's how things go. It's almost June, but what do you know? I wanted the extra art cards that you get with that because I think they're super cool and I think they're actually better than all the other ones you get in the release. I also did cover the Dark Sky release that we got earlier in the year, so I'll link that up below if you want to see how that version turned out, and then I'll get into kind of some of the little subtle differences that this version does have over that one. But before we do that, consider subscribing to the channel. Drop down there, hit the bell for all of these reviews and all my movie reviews on the channel, and let me know down below, did you pick this version up? Did you pick up the Dark Sky one? Or do you not even care about Texas Chainsaw Massacre, which I find hard to believe since you're here watching this video. All right, let's get into it. So this is the outer box. Pretty cool, hard shell, typical Second Sight. Let's set this back here so we can just get that in frame, and then we'll get into the art cards last, but I want to show off the other things. So there's the front of the case that holds all the movies. This does tri-fold out, and there's the full scene, and then you've got all your discs in here. So while we're on these, let's go ahead and talk about the subtle differences between these two versions that I personally could see with now my broken eyes that I have glasses. Anyway, so Dark Sky version I think is very well done. It's great. The only differences that I could personally see and that I've seen other people kind of see that I'm like, okay, yeah, I agree with those. I think the HDR is less blown out here than it was on the Dark Sky version. I think it's a little better, and it might be cleaned up just a tad. There might be a little less grain, but overall they're very similar, and I think either version would be a great addition to your collection if you're a massive fan of the Texas Chainsaw Massacre. But if you are, you probably already picked up this version, and you're probably going to get both anyway, which is what I did. All right, so let's get into the next thing, which is this badass book, man. This thing is awesome. You know, I'm a weirdo, and this is going to go on my nightstand by my bed because I'm going to read about the Texas Chainsaw Massacre before I go to bed. Just great art in here, very similar to the art cards. I think it does have all the art card art in it. A lot of different stuff, a ton of stuff about the production of the film, and I haven't really dove into this yet. I've read a little bit of it, but again, this is going to be my before bed book, you know? Get my glass of water, get this on, and then nighty-night for me. I'm not going to have any nightmares. That's how it happens, you know? So let's get into these art cards. So the first three are going to be the additional ones that I got, and then the other ones are going to be the ones that come in this edition. So I think these are all pretty awesome. And I want to do something with these in my new kind of studio area that I'm working on. Well, I say working on, but I'm designing it right now. But I'm moving into a new house. It's being built right now. And so when I get in there, I've got a lot of ideas of how I want to set up. I'm just in an apartment right now. I recently moved. So that's why I just have these few shelves back here. But I eventually want to have something more elaborate like I used to. It's gonna be awesome. It's gonna be awesome. Probably still a month or two away though. So look forward to that. But anyway, that's all I've got with this packaging. So let's get into the review. Overall, like I said, I like this review. It's very similar to the last one. The biggest difference too, on top of the HDR and like the subtle cleanup of the grain, is that there's a lot more special features on this than the Dark Sky one. I know they have ported some of them over, but the biggest one that's new is Second Sight did an hour-and-a-half kind of mini documentary on the Texas Chainsaw Massacre where they interviewed a bunch of people that had seen it, how it affected their wives. There's a couple of directors in there. Rob Savage is in there, which was cool. I mean, Fede Alvarez is in there from remaking Evil Dead, you know, that's what I'm thinking about Texas, and I'm saying Evil Dead, not Evil Dead. Anyway, he's in there. Rob Savage, interesting enough, seeing that, you know, he did Dashcam, which I was not a fan of, but he's doing the new Stephen King adaptation of The Boogeyman, which I will be covering later this week, so look forward to that review. I am very curious, as a massive Stephen King fan, I'm curious to see how that adaptation goes. But I'm on a different tangent now. We're talking about Stephen King, not Texas Chainsaw Massacre. Anyway, I'm a massive fan of this movie. It's one of my favorite horror movies of all time. I will say I like the second one a tad bit better because it's weird. And I like weird shit. So I love watching this movie. It did a lot for horror. You know, it was one of those things that in the 70s they could get away with, you know, doing like the inspired by a true story thing, you know, inspired, like, because, you know, that shit happened in Wisconsin and we said happened in Texas. It does have a better ring. Texas Chainsaw Massacre, Wisconsin Chainsaw Massacre. See why they did it, but anyway, you can't do that now. now inspired by means like, hey, the guy that killed all these people drove a red car, so we put a red car in the movie. Pulling a James Wan, inspired by true events that we heard through the grapevine that went through 17 people. We're playing telephone, and that's how we wrote the script. But anyway, that's all I've got. Thanks for stopping by. Let me know down below. Did you pick up this version? Did you pick up the dark sky version? Which one do you like better? Are there any movies that are weird, obscure, that you think that I might be interested in covering here on the channel so we can get the word out to all of the other people that they need to watch it? So we've got a lot of reviews coming up in the future, in the week ahead. So definitely subscribe for those and hit the bell and the like button to let me know what you think of this video. Okay, I'm gonna link some videos at the end as always. And that's all I've got. Thanks for stopping by, and I'll talk to you guys in my next video.